Hello, Clayton Baumgartner here, talking about hermeneutics as method. Hermeneutics is quite broad in its scope and in its reach as a interpretive and theoretical approach. So I'm going to try to limit my scope to an understanding of hermeneutics in its purpose and how it's shown itself in a few different studies as a research method, specifically in qualitative research. So, traditionally, it's been known as a method to identify the meaning and intent of sacred, specifically biblical, scripture. And the rules and principles of hermeneutics have become used not only for understanding written information, but now has expanded beyond in order to interpret human practices, events, and situations. Hermeneutics is a science of interpretation, and according to Crowdy, is situated in the interpretive paradigm. Schleiermacher founded modern hermeneutics early in the 19th century and recognized its potential use to understand the human sciences. Later on, it expanded into the realm of cultural systems and organizations in order to interpret those things and to insert its research method into those milieus. Hermeneutics also branches off into the realms of phenomenology and philosophy in its study of meaning and being, specifically popularized by Heidegger in that regard. And for Heidegger's student Gadamer, metaphor is further extended in its research methodology. Approaches within phenomenology and philosophy for the hermeneutic include circle, dialogue, and fusion. The purpose of hermeneutics aims to solve the issue of understanding inasmuch as it can be manipulated, mistaken, and misguided, according to Friedman. Hermeneutics take into account the social, cultural, and political contexts, past, present, in which understanding and misunderstanding can possibly take shape. In other words, each approach and aim and purpose of hermeneutic is to answer the question of where does meaning reside? In qualitative research, it is a meshing of theoretical perspective and methodology, specifically the methodologies of ethnography, action research, and narrative analysis. And it takes on different configurations depending on the specific problems that the hermeneutic aims to address. In other words, theories play a role in producing different strategies, but each strategy, according to Freeman, does not necessarily reflect on or represent the work of any one theory. Hermeneutics has served purposefully in a number of contributions and studies in qualitative research. Briefly, I'd like to touch base on philosophical hermeneutics and how it is utilized within these studies. The first important aspect that philosophical hermeneutics sets out to determine is to identify the role of tradition. Here is not the search for a specific truth, but rather a sensitive and reflective examination of one's own responses to what is strange to a researcher. According to Maurer, coincidentally, in order to allow ourselves to become aware of and to challenge our self-understandings and preconceptions, and to broaden our horizons, the key in any social encounter is to be genuinely open to what is alien to us and to be perceptive. The second is to validate knowledge claims. And again, according to Maurer, this is by linking the empirical material with larger concepts, claims, or premises, which should convince the audience of the credibility of the conclusions drawn, end quote. And in a study, really, this is the end result that the researchers hope to come to. And then finally, the third point of philosophical hermeneutics is to conclude that meaning is not fixed. In other words, philosophical hermeneutics has informed meaning and is something that is created anew in each dialogue or encounter, and that it is contingent to the specific context and occasion. An example given by Maurer again is the relationship between the researcher and his or her participants in an interview situation will influence the meaning that is created. It makes a difference whether a woman is interviewed by a man or by another woman. Studies that I found that use the hermeneutic theory and methodology are as follows, and some of the benefits of these studies are in the following list. Uh, when using hermeneutic theory and methodology, it provides a credible and flexible strategy for combining other methods to create deep understanding, also known as the hermeneutic spiral, used by Patterson and Pentland in 2008 when using hermeneutics and mixed methods design. It also addresses a broad range of research questions. Once again, Patterson and Pentland in 2008 utilized the hermeneutic spiral to identify issues that influence the ability of international graduates in acquiring and working as occupational therapists, specifically in Canada. A third strength of the hermeneutic theory and methodology in qualitative research is it emphasizes dialogue through fusion, spiral, and future action. And this is shown again in the conclusion of that first study by Patterson and Pentland. And it is ultimately an effective tool for working within the complexities of philosophical and experimental inquiry. As again, Patterson, working now with Higgins in 2005, discovered that hermeneutics in qualitative research is best utilized specifically in measuring professional practice. For instance, they would later on, 3 years later, go specifically into professional therapy and identifying some fundamental issues that may have been overlooked without the use of the hermeneutic spiral, fusion, and future action. In conclusion, hermeneutics really serves a purpose to call for social inquiry. And Freeman quotes, not as elicitors of information, but as promoters of cross-cultural dialogue, end quote. Hermeneutics aims to bring together a scope on the world that all people can share by re-envisioning the role of how information can be perceived and understood. And here are a list of my references. Thank you so much for your attention.